What's going on, Paisanos? V here, coming at you guys, well, with another market watch today. You know, the biggest winner of the Banlist front end would be Arch Nemesis Protoss. It would actually be a bunch of other cards, but Protoss or Protos, whatever you want, any way you want to say it. It only came out of Eternity Code. This set is looking more and more like a better set. The card price, by the way, used to be around $4 to $5. The value of this card right now is about $47 a copy. Right now. Now, will it remain $47 a copy? I really don't know, because this card is not hard to bring out, but it's definitely a card that a lot of decks can tutor out. Just if they like swap some of the engine cards, if that makes any sense. But do we have decks that have space to play Arch Nemesis Protoss or Protos? I really don't know. Let me know what you think about this card in the comment section down below. What deck are you going to be playing it in? With that said, here's some cards you might probably going to be using. Number one, Nemesis Corridor. This card went from a price of like 80 cents to right now it's at $12. Who says you can't make money in the market? Konami. Konami makes all the money in the market. Anyway, Nemesis Corridors also came out of Eternity Code as a super rare. Up next, Nemesis Flag. Another card, once again, about $1 roughly. Currently, right now, it's roughly around $5. I just say get a place out of each of these. These cards are great, great cards. Especially if you were like me and you were preparing your Thunder Dragon Colossus forever. Another card, Nemesis Umbrella. No, this card's actually roughly around 17 cents. But once again, it came out of Eternity Code, and Eternity Code has been like a blockbuster set. It was like a waifu set with like Chamber Dragon Maid. Effect Failure was like a chaser nobody cared about. Ghost Motor was cool, but when it first debuted, nobody cared about it. Oh yeah, Access Code debuted. That was like the chaser card of the set. And then we started seeing like more value. People wanted to get those Traptrick Alameris. Chamber Dragon Maid was the waifu. It was decent, but for the most part, waifu. Area Wartime was cool. Water was pretty popular back then, but kind of calmed down in value. And the price of Area is going down as well. Madochi's got Salon, and that's it. Then they went back down. Raid Raptors got good cards. Like, this set was a banger of a set. Put Plunder Patrols, which I still personally to this day love. Like, a lot of cool things. Oh, Animador Arcus came out of this set. Like, for all intents and purposes, when this set first came out, it was good, but it's like better now. Like, if anyone bought this set and held these cards, you got crazy value throughout time. Is what I'm trying to say. All right. Going into another card that people might want to start playing is Parallel Exceed. This card actually becomes a level 4. You link, you bring this out, get another one, bring it out. You go into a card maybe like Inferno Flame Banshee. It's a little thought experiment. It has been going up in value, by the way, for the QCR. The value is roughly around $60 a copy. And if you own the ultra rare, if you want to grab the ultra rare, it's not that crazy yet. It was roughly around $2. Right now the value is around $4-5 for shipping. Not as crazy yet, but hey, listen, let you take a Pyre Monster from your deck and add to your hand and send it to the graveyard. Pretty cool, to be honest with you. And this card is banished, and you control the Pyre Monster. You can special summon this card, and if you do, it gains attack equal to a number, blah, blah, times 100. I mean, that's a pretty cool effect, but the first one's pretty much one everyone cares about. All right, Thunder Dragon Colossus, another massive card that forever people said was coming back. And here we are. It's back. Some people freaked out, some people went nuts, and some people had PTSD. Me, myself, personally, I think this card is a massive push for any kind of dragon variation, particularly Dragon Link. They could relatively easily bring this card out in their board as part of their combo. But then Dragon Link also got smacked. They got hit with Boros Savage, they lost Barone, and now they're going to play fair Yu-Gi-Oh! And every card, they're playing like heroes, where every card they're doing is just going, please, oh God, don't summon Nib. Please, oh God, don't summon Nib. Is this card resolved? And your opponent's sitting there going, yeah. Please, oh God, don't summon Nib. Please, oh Jesus Christ, don't summon Nib. And you have to worry, because if your one has Nib, it's going to hurt a lot. Now, with that said, Thunder Dragon Colossus obviously is still a phenomenal card. And if your opponent does have Nib, you're in a pretty good spot. The value that spike as high as, like, I remember 120, the current value of the card right now, has went down to about $72. And it's probably going to continue to slowly go down, but we have the YCS coming up this week. And with the YCS coming up, more than likely, people would be keeping an eye out for decks that can consistently bring this card out. Arguably bring this card out in protection of something maybe like an Appaloosa, because that's broken as like Appaloosa plus Colossus is a very hard board state. Those two cards for your opponent to break. Your opponent has to basically top deck an Imperium or try to do some things to stop this happening, because if that happens, it's not an FTK, but it's not. You're going to get so many resources to get rid of this board, you're not going to be able to kill your opponent. And no matter where in, well, as of today, I guess, it used to be the I gotta kill you this turn meta. Now, it might be a little bit different with cards like Thunder Dragon Colossus coming out. Match Spectre Unicorn Kirin debuted, well, off the ban, I should really say, but they really didn't do much. It went up a little bit, went back down a little bit. The current value is roughly around $3 to $4. It's cool. I mean, I would love to see more Match Spectre decks in the meta, but would it actually do anything? I don't think so. Chicken Game spiked in value, being the fact that it only came out of Clash of Rebellion's only printing. The value of this card is roughly around $4 to $5. Why? Why would you buy this? Like, the only deck that I could see that I would actually buy this and play this card would probably be Sky Strikers. It's like the only deck that this card actually makes sense in. Any other deck? All right. He doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Speaking of Sky Strikers, the value has run up a bit, and it goes back and forth. I will say Ultimate Rare Rays being roughly around, I mean, roughly this low is kind of wild. Ultimate Rare Ray right now, the highest revenue of Ray is about $17. Now, Sky Striker Engage the QCR. It's not my cup of tea. I like the other version, but this art did spike. It was roughly around 134. The current value of this card went as high as $320 a copy. So it definitely went up really high in value. Striker players just love these cards, and they really, I mean, you get some Striker players. They have this deck max rarity. They're chilling, put it in this aside. I have this deck almost max rarity, minus that QCR. But the value of other cards like Rose actually didn't change. It's roughly around $160 a copy. And then when you look at other Striker cards, it really didn't change as much. Original print. Oh, hold on. That's not original print. Let's go get the original print. Dark Savior, Sky Striker Mobilize, Engage. It went up a little bit for the first edition, but not the Unlimited. So the first edition version of this card went up to roughly around $12 a copy. After those two are sold, by the way, it's about $16 to $17 a copy. So once again, cool for Strikers, but is Strikers going to see meta play? Really don't know. I will say, though, that amazing board I stated earlier about going Colossus and Apo, Striker players just laugh at that board. Like, that, unless they open, like, 3 Engage, yeah, it kind of sucks. But for the most part, Striker players can play relatively easily around Thunder Dragon Colossus. They don't care about the card whatsoever. Don't get me wrong, once again, like I said, Engage is definitely one of the best cards, and with Colossus, you can't use Engage. But Widow Anchor's another card, and they just go blank your guy out, and then do whatever I want. Like, that's all you gotta do is Widow Anchor, Engage. I don't need it open to break that board. And I think that can definitely do it with Upside Goblin going to 3, Chicken Game. Like, these are cards that Striker players can definitely utilize. Next, probably the biggest winner besides Fire King Snake Eyes. Not pure Snake Eyes, that got smacked, but Fire King Snake Eyes, which I think is the best winner. The BDIF, best deck in format. The biggest winner, besides the one we know, is going to be Voice's Voice. This deck did not get touched whatsoever. Okay, hold on. Link Karibo got touched. Ouchie. That didn't do nothing. Like, this deck was like, all right, whatever, dude. Like, this deck has so many variations to play. We're seeing a lot of players, and here's the thing about Voices, and maybe correct me if I'm wrong, but what I'm seeing is Voices players were playing branded Voices and topping regionals left and right, and then Voices players were like, let's try Pure. And some are topping, but there were more Voices branded topping, and people would stop playing Voices branded for some ungodly reason. I think Voices branded is the best build. I thought branded was going to get hit, or maybe Albion, the monster, to bring a monster from the graveyard on both sides of the field, because that card's broken. But no, Konami's like, let them lock him out of the game. That's fair. Like, Voices actually is an insane deck in the game right now. I definitely think a lot of players are going to be slowly playing Voices if they don't want to play the Fire King list. These are probably going to be the best 2 decks in the game right now. As time goes on, we'll have to see. But I think Voices is definitely a deck you need to keep an eye on for, because, yes, it's a little bit pricey, but nowhere near as pricey as the Fire King list. And, yes, it's definitely a deck that's going to get more support, so it's good to hold on to it. But once again, once you learn the combos, once you learn the lines, once you learn all the builds, it's not super intricate, and you will get bored of it. And that might be the reason why Voices players are kind of just sitting back waiting for something more of a YCS than regionals, if I had to guess. But once again, let me know in the comment section down below. Are you playing Voices? It's a really good deck. All right. Speaking of Branded decks are also a really good deck. I don't know, I would necessarily say Branded is a tier 1 deck. I would argue 1.5, maybe tier 2, depending. I mean, it's all RNG for Branded players. But with that said, Branded is still really good. You sleep on Branded, you don't know what Branded does, or you just think Branded's the buy, then you become the buy. Because with one Branded Fusion resolving, you get locked out. But there's more to that, though, because with cards like Branded Opening, Branded Red, obviously with the whole the whole Bestial package, which deck can main deck, it's a problem for a lot of players. And I do think Branded is really good. You have to respect this deck. You have to open Ash. And even then, if you see the word triple attack talents and they set that trap card, which some builds still do, you're gonna lose. Like, really badly. Next, Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit. This hand trap is slowly making its way into the meta with the release of Tenpai Dragons, whatever they're calling it, and the way the meta is shifting. Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit actually, unironically, might be a real big sleeper in this format. This card right now, Ultimate Rare at OTS 1 Pack 5, has been going down in value because we know we're going to be getting a QCR. So that's why it's been going down in value. Current valuations have the card being roughly around $82. But once that's sold, that copy of A2, the card value jumps to about $92 a copy. So it does go up there relatively high. I mean, I know A2 is a lot of money. I know once a QCR, there's a chance this will go down temporarily. But in my opinion, if it's Ultimate Rare or QCR, especially an old Ultimate Rare at an OTS 1 Pack 5, the answer is simple. You go after the old Ultimate Rare because it's hard to get, it's highest rarity comparatively to the QCR. And I do think that this card definitely is going to see play. I don't know if it's going to see play as a 3 of, but definitely as a 2 of. Speaking of Tenpai Dragons, if you haven't picked up your Crystal Wing Single Dragon Ghost Rare, you might be in a weird spot. Obviously, you can pick it up any other rarity. It has a bunch of rarities you can pick it up, but the highest rated version of this card, it used to be $64. The current value of the card right now is roughly around $83. And I mean, it goes from 83 to 85 within a blink of an eye. There's not many listings before it's hitting $117 a copy, so that's something you might want to keep in mind. Now, once again, like I said, this is the highest rarity. It did come on Ghost Rare as its highest rarity, but it does have a bunch of other printing, so you can get the Battles Legends version. And even though it is rising to roughly around $12, it's not a bad copy. Also, I mean, it's roughly around $9, but it's gonna, I think it'll rise in value as well. And there's other versions. Once again, you got the Shining Victories, which is the original print, which will probably cost you a little more money. You have the Ultra Rare Duelist Power, so you have opportunities to grab this card, is what I'm trying to say. Unlike Trident Dragon, you don't have the opportunity. The days of this Ultra Rare going for double digits for first edition is long gone. I mentioned this card about probably a month ago and said, if you're looking to play Tenpai Dragons, you need to get this card. There's no, like, negotiation. There's no, like, well, V, maybe I'll wait, or, hey, that's fine, you can wait, but getting this card at double digits is getting harder and harder and harder. Now, the limit's roughly still around double digits, but if you want a first edition Ultimate Rare, it's $171. But after when sold, it goes to $200. First edition Ultimate Rare. You're probably going, V, who cares? I'll just go ahead and grab a Secret Rare. Okay, go ahead. You know what? Let's check the Ultra Rare. It's only 4 listings, so it's not that hard of a check. Yeah, $100. Okay, you know what? Let's go back to the Secret Rare. Maybe just some Secret Rares. 9 listings, not bad. We're still in the money. Oh, okay, that doesn't look good. All right, yeah, no, $95. The last double-digit one is right here. I won't even buy it. I'm just saying it. First to watch the video and get it, gets it, I guess. It's still an insanely expensive price, and then it's $104. So what are you gonna do? Like, I think that anyone that's getting ready for Tenpai Dragons have already grabbed these cards. It's only a 1-up, but it's a necessary card. It's going to be just as good, Tenpai Dragons, as Voiceless. Will it be better than Fire King Snake Eyes? I don't think it would, but I do think it'll be just as good as Voiceless. I think they're both really good decks for different reasons. I think both these decks have a lot of power to them, and I think players will basically disrespect your deck. A lot of players still don't know what Voiceless does, but man, oh man, they're learning. All right, Kashiras are still probably one of the best winners. I would argue Team 1.5, the best winner. Or Rogue, depending on how you want to see it, the best winner is Kashiras. This deck runs Shifter, and Shifter's a phenomenal card, obviously. But listen, the deck is still really good and really slept on. Because a lot of players are working on playing against the mirror match. They're working on playing against Voiceless. Like, that's their go-to, what they're focusing on. Nobody's focusing on beating Kashiras. And when we look at cards like Kashiras, well, they're relatively inexpensive. Once again, a Fenrir, which used to be the money card, is like $16. Rise Heart used to be $25, $12. Yes, Kashira Theosis is $25, but I mean, these are like, we're talking like the money cards. After that, the prices just tank in value. Kashira Unicorns, $1. The rest of the core is roughly around sub-$1. So it's not that bad to go ahead and play this deck because it's a cheap deck that will get you great results. And if you resolve Shifter, really good results. Another card is Super Poly. Everyone wanted Super Poly to be banned in the beginning of this format. The new format is here, and nobody really mentions Super Poly whatsoever. This card is insane. What? What's happening here? We're in a meta right now where, like, your opponent basically has to go Appaloosas as their only out to stop Nibiru. If not, they're playing the please don't Nibiru me, bro, let's be friends game. And cards like Super Poly don't care. They're like, hey, listen, if I don't have Nibiru, I can just play this card, break your board, and then win. Now, this card has a bunch of printing. Starlight Rare, QCR is roughly around 100. I personally like the Ultimate Rare. That's what I have. I personally like it the most. It looks clean. It's only $78 compared to 100 and change. That's one I personally like. But the card has obviously a ton of printings. The lowest being roughly around $6 to $7 a copy. So it's still money for this card. Unfortunately, even commons are like $7, which is pretty crazy. All right. Then we have Cosmic Cyclone. So once again, we all know that Fire King Snake Eyes is going to be the best deck in the game. We know this already. It's not even up for debate. With that said, Cosmic Cyclone is the best screw that board card in the game. Cosmic Cyclone obviously is a phenomenal card that a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh players are going to be gravitating towards to throw in their side deck to play against the Fire King Snake Eyes. Myself personally, and I'm going to throw this in right now before everyone else starts talking about this, is Game 1, I go Fire King Snake Eyes. Game 2, I take out all the Fire King cards and slide in a bunch of other cards, including like talents and stuff like that, to make sure my Snake Eye part is more consistent. That's just me personally and how I play it. And let me know what you guys think about that in the comment section down below. Are you doing that as well? It also helps stopping cards like Cosmic Cyclone, because if you get hit with that card, you lose your board, and that hurts a lot. So I still think this card's needed because there are players who are not going to be doing that and are going to be learning the hard way. With that said, Cosmic Cyclone price has been rising in value. They let you play unlimited. It's about $70 a copy. Once again, this is for Ultimate Rare. You don't have to grab this. I mean, they have like CRs, but I'm not a big fan of those. And they have a bunch of other printings. Secret Rares from Dark Illusions. Are they really $7? No shot, dude. Hold on. No way they're $7. Okay, yeah, no, they're 14. About $14. That makes infinitely more sense. But listen, there's other printings. The Speed Duel box. These are clean. I've actually seen these. These look actually really nice. I mean, I own the Ultimate Rares. I'm not even trying to flex or whatever. But if I didn't, I'd grab the, like, dude, Speed Duel Secret Rares looks really good. All right. Then we have Dimension Shifter. And it's my job to remind you that this card is going to be getting dropped on you if you play enough Yu-Gi-Oh throughout this meta. You're going to see this card. How do you beat it? Start working on that now. Dimension Shifter QCR, by the way, is rising in value. It had a low price of around $23. The current value of this card is about $35 a copy. And by the way, within a couple of sales, we start talking $40, $45 for Shifter. Fluttering players, they just, I can just feel their laughter. I can just feel it. Like, you feel that? Like, they just love that. Kashira players love that. And you know what? Hold on a second. Besides Temper players, because Temper players are going to be playing this as well, besides that, there's another deck, and I already hinted at it in my last Market Watch. Comment down below, let me know if you get it, that will also run this card, that will also be good, and people don't know about it. Rampangu, that's all I'm going to say. All right, next up, we have Unending Nightmare. This card's seeing some playing the OCG as like a side deck card. I kind of like this a lot, to be honest with you. Unending Nightmare original print at a maximum crisis is probably the highest rarity version, being Secret Rare original print. It's roughly around, I mean, it's relatively inexpensive, about $5 a copy for this card. That's something you might want to consider. I've had this card forever. I believe I have the same place that I put in Maximum Crisis, so I still have this card. Absolutely phenomenal card, and a card on which I think every Yu-Gi-Oh player should have in their bind, just chilling. All right. Next is Underworld Goddess. She's been rising in value. This card is, I want to say if it's a must-have card, but it's something you want to have in your, whatever, you have a deck box full of cards you go to if you ever want to, like, Theory Craft or bind or what have you. I think this is definitely one of those cards you're going to need. The price point's anywhere from $10 to about $12 a copy for Underworld Goddess. And like I said, you just need one of these. All right. Rescue Ace. Rescue Ace, Rescue Ace, Rescue Ace. I say this for the end of the video because if anyone watched my video halfway through, fuck them. They don't get this information. This shit has not been touched. This right here, really fucking good. Like, crazy good. Just throwing it out there. But that's for you, okay? Rescue Ace, in my opinion, is a fucking sleeper. Go look at people talking about deck lists. Go look at them talk about Rescue Ace. They have zero idea with this. Like, this deck's insane, bro. This deck was still topping in the last meta. Why? Because people played the crap out of it, got bored of it, went to the new stuff, and realized, oh, wait a minute, this also works really well with that. Snake Eyes was better the way it was built, so everyone pretty much put this on the shelf. I'm here to tell you, this is going to see play. You're going to have to deal with this, and it's not easy. Anyone playing Shifter, well, people don't really care when playing Rescue Ace. Like, it's kind of annoying and not kind of annoying. If I can bring out Turbulence, and you say Shifter, I'm just going to laugh at you. I'm going to go Turbulence Effects F4. Sure, let's play this game. This is more fun. Go ahead. I'll do my set 4 with Turbulence, plus whatever handles I have that can obviously get away from Shifter, versus your board. One card. Not to mention the fact that this could be used in a lot of other decks in conjunction with a lot of other cards. I'm here to tell you right now, this deck is dirt cheap. See our Turbulence being $70 to $20 is dirt. Hydrant, I played 2, but I kind of want to go ahead and grab 3 myself personally. It used to be $75. The value of this card right now is $32. Like, this is a quick pickup. It's going to be absolutely wild. I think a lot of players are disrespecting Rescue Ace. And you know what? Fair enough. Go ahead. But I'm telling you right now, Rescue Ace is going to be a sleeper. It's going to see play. A lot of players are going to struggle against this. And my question to you is, are you going to be one of them? Because you have to understand that this deck can do a lot of crazy plays and then play another part of another engine that's added to this deck. Really cool stuff here. Anyway, guys, I really appreciate you guys watching my videos. Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe button, comment down below. It's your boy V. And you guys all have a great day.